if this is working. I don't know if it's simultaneously streaming to YouTube as well, like it's supposed to, like it always used to. I've not been on YouNow for about a year. So let's see if it's working, shall we? I'm just furiously refreshing YouTube to see if we're simulcasting over there, because that's certainly the plan, or else nobody will know this is happening. And that would be a disaster if nobody knows it's happening. Fingers crossed. David, I can see you're in. Excellent. We have a person in. This is reassuring. So there's somebody in. I'm getting texts from Amy asking about, I mean, Amy's literally upstairs and she's asking me when her dentist's appointment is. I don't know. You're supposed to be in the shower, Amy. Hold on. We've just got to deal with this. A few weeks. Right. Have we simulcast onto YouTube? Right. So Twitter has told you it's happening. That's handy. Is it on YouTube as well, though? It doesn't. Oh, no, it has hit YouTube as well. Excellent. It looks like we've hit YouTube as well. Very, very cool. Hooray. Just a heads up, don't use as much hair gel. No, my hair looks rubbish without hair gel. Right, those of you who, that was the only YouTube comment I'm going to read. Those of you who aren't familiar with how these YouNow stream things work, there's no agenda for this. That's why I'm doing it on YouNow. It isn't going to stay up as a permanent video on YouTube. It's just literally a little bit of a chat. Just, we didn't do a proper vlog today because of reasons. So just thought I'd pop on here and have a little chat with you. But if you haven't, because it's been a year since I've done anything on YouNow, if you are watching this on YouTube, I'm not going to be able to see the comments because I'm streaming in the house. I've only got the one monitor in front of me and I can't have YouNow and YouTube open at the same time. So although it's simulcasting and streaming onto YouTube as well, the only chat I'm going to be able to see is on YouNow. You can come and watch it on YouNow by going to younow.com/Lelujo, or the link should be in the description to what's been put on YouTube, hopefully. I think if it still works the way it did last year, I should be randomly commenting in the chat as a little moderator message telling you how to get to YouNow as well. So there should be plenty of routes you can take to make it to YouNow. But I am getting the YouTube chat off of the screen, so I can't see that anymore. So if you are watching on YouTube and you want to ask questions, come over to YouNow and we'll have a chat over here. It should be a little easier to see the questions as they come in over here, because presumably it's not going to be as busy. A year since I streamed on YouNow, I think, give or take. It's been a long time. I know I've called it Coffee with Kev because that's what we always used to call it, but I've got Diet Coke. I hope that's okay. It's a really cold can as well, which is awesome in this heat. So let's have a little look, see if we've got some questions. Kirsty has asked, has Andy ever been to Drayton Manor theme park? It's got the Thomas the Tank Engine area. We've wanted to go there. I can't get this open. We've wanted to go there for years. Where is Drayton Manor? Because I think he'd really enjoy the Thomas the Tank Engine section, but for whatever reason, we've never done it. Hugh, thank you very much for. I don't even remember what the thumbs up thing is called here on YouNow. Is it called likes? Thank you to all the stuff that's flashing on my screen from Hugh and from Ben and from Joe and from everybody else. There's lots of stuff flashing on the screen. I don't know what it's called on YouNow. I don't remember, but thanks. Where is Drayton Manor? We'll touch back on Drayton Manor in a minute because I can't remember where it is. If it's nearby, then we'll definitely look to go this summer. Is Andy home? Yes, Andy's just gone to bed. Connor's in. Hey, Connor, when was the last time you used YouNow? Do you use it regularly still? It really has changed. When I sent them quite a stroppy email when I stopped using it last year, saying, look, until you can give me a widescreen video that looks decent on YouTube as well, then I'm not coming back. Thinking I'm a big shot. They'll tell me when they go widescreen. They've gone widescreen. It looks like a much better quality image as well. It looks really cool. I'm playing with spring, by the way. This is one of the presents I got for my birthday, a big tub full of springs, because whenever I sit here, I like to play with my springs. They're awesome. Right, what hotel are we staying at in Bournemouth? I ain't telling you what hotel we're staying in Bournemouth. It will be like the Beatles. People will be queuing outside the hotel screaming our names. I mean, we're staying in Bournemouth. That's enough information. You can probably work out the hotel chain we're staying in. And I think there's about 5 options from there. Right, let's have a look. What's my opinion on Steve Evans being signed as manager of Gillingham? I pity poor old Gillingham fans. Max is saying, YouNow app doesn't work. I can't see you. That's a shame because I am very pretty tonight. My hair's actually stayed up, which it hasn't done for ages. I've just had a message flash up on my screen. Remind your fans to share your broadcast. Could I please remind you to share the broadcast, please? I've just noticed as well, my little blurb says YouTuber with 100k subs. Let's try 150. You can tell how long it's been since I've been over here. My word, that's made me feel quite good. That's shown how much things have changed in a year. We've added about 50,000 YouTube subscribers since I was last on YouNow. That's awesome. Which reminds me, if you are watching on YouTube and want to ask a question, come on over, join us on YouNow. We're #1 trending on Ask Questions on YouNow at the moment. So come and join the cool new trend. So Drayton Manor's near Connor. So Connor, that's Nottingham, isn't it? So if Drayton Manor's near Nottingham, there's absolutely no excuse for us not having gone. Right, I can see I'm not keeping up with the chat at all, so I'm just going to scroll down a little bit and just skim through some questions. I've started watching MGPX. It's so good. I love the jokes about the WhatsApp group. Good. Glad you enjoyed it. Where's the guesting feature these days? It says I can drag to add a guest. I don't know if I dare do it because it might break it. But it looks like if I wanted to have a guest on, I could literally just grab them out of the chat and drop them into the bottom of the screen. I've never done that. We might experiment with that in a little while. We haven't announced the competition winner from a few days ago. We were going to do it, and then we lost the footage, and I hadn't actually done it. I was going to add it in this morning, but I haven't yet. So I'll probably do that draw. So bottom line, you've still got time to enter. I'll do that probably tomorrow morning, and then just insert it into the vlog that comes out tomorrow. Can I say hello to David R? Hello, David R. What are we going to do in Bournemouth? We're just going to have a good time. Bournemouth is one of the best beaches in the country, one of the best beaches in Europe. Andy likes a beach. The girls like a beach. We're going to, hopefully the weather will be good. We're just going to go out, hang out on the beach. Someone was kind enough to get us tickets to the Oceanarium, so we're going to go and look at the fishes and have some fish and chips and wander around the nice park they've got there. We'll probably have a day in the New Forest, or maybe an afternoon in the New Forest, because Amy really likes ponies and stuff like that, and Lucy will really enjoy. There's a little village in the New Forest called Burley, if anyone's local to that area. I used to go there a lot as a kid. My mum loved that village, and they've got loads of little witch shops for witches. You can buy cauldrons and crystal balls and tarot cards and incense, and just, it's really cool. So we'll go there. It's just gonna be fun. How is my McDonald's flat white? I haven't had a flat white for ages. I've stopped taking milk in my coffee now. I just have black coffee now, which is what I always used to drink. It was flat white that got me back on milky coffees again, and I need to stop. I don't want to get fat. That would be awful. Did I ever get a diagnosis for ASD? It's a 2-year waiting list. I'm apparently on it. Just used all my gold bars on here. You're the only person I watch. Anthony, thank you very much. It's very kind of you. Why did I re-upload a video of an old video of Andy dancing in tonight's upload? Shannon, if you have a look at the pinned comment on there, it explains exactly why I did that. There was a very good reason. Right, I'm scanning through again. When are we going to Bournemouth? Next week. Next Wednesday we go. Do I think Andy is going to go on the Bournemouth Eye? What is the Bournemouth Eye? Is that... Do they still have the hot air balloon? Is that what the Bournemouth Eye is? Because if so, yes, he'll want to go on that. If the Bournemouth Eye is something else, I've not been to Bournemouth for about 7 or 8 years. Last time I went, there was a massive hot air balloon in the park, which I think he would love because he really liked the one at Disneyland Paris. So if that's still there, we'll probably all go on it. If the Bournemouth Eye is something different, enlighten me as to what it is. Drayton Manor is in Tamworth. Tamworth's Birmingham way, isn't it? Is that right? I think that's right. Where's Anna and Andy? Anna's at work. Andy's in bed. Amy's in the shower. Lucy is at her mum's house. Dave's behind me on the sofa. You can just try to see him there behind the microphone. Right, I'm scanning through again. Anyone asking why there was no vlog today? Look at the video that came out today. Read the comments. The pinned comment on there explains what happened. Long story short, my SD card corrupted, so I lost all the footage. What do I think of Bray Wyatt's new character? It's awesome. There's a few questions that are being repeated. Opinions on the upcoming Avengers game. What are we talking about? Which one are we talking about? Because Marvel Ultimate Alliance comes out this week. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I have pre-ordered. I'm very excited about the actual Avengers game. I was a bit iffy about that. It looked a little uncanny valley for me. Favorite ride at any theme park? Any kind of log flume type thing. I like a log flume. What did I think of Extreme Rules? I don't want to turn this into wrestle chat, but telling me that something's a no hold bars match, but you have to tag in and out of it, which they did throughout the night, is just dumb. How do we get Andy to stay calm all day? Let him do what he wants, mainly. I mean, it links into what Sam T is asking a little bit further down. Is Andy still shouting female? Yes, he is. So I guess it's your definition of calm. He's very loud, very boisterous. He's not sitting there silently, so he's not necessarily what I would class as calm. But the medication that he's on helps a lot. There's a big thing full of dollars flying around on my screen. I think Dan is responsible for that. Thank you very much. I'm still not entirely sure what it means, but I like the animation. It's cool and it's appreciated. Have I been watching All Elite Wrestling? I have. Can't wait to hear what you and the guys are doing in Bournemouth. Hint, there's a great arcade next to the aquarium that you're going to. Is that the one on the pier or the one around the corner a bit? I know Bournemouth quite well. I went there a lot as a kid. I like the arcade on the pier because it's cool. Bournemouth, yeah, lots of love for Bournemouth. And also, if any, I was trying to do the thing we normally do before we go anywhere, of showing Andy videos of a place. If anyone knows of any videos from Bournemouth that aren't done by mummy vloggers or old people who've just got their first GoPro and are filming like this, if there's any kind of, what I'm asking, is there any good videos that show any parts of Bournemouth? Because I haven't found any yet, and it's quite difficult trying to show him what to expect. Even harder for the New Forest. There is nothing about the New Forest on YouTube that I can find, which is mad. Right, I'm scrolling through. I'm so far behind on this chat now. If you are watching on YouTube as well, I'm not looking at the YouTube chat at all. This is actually being streamed from YouNow. So if you're on YouTube and you're constantly asking a question and getting frustrated, come over to YouNow. The link's in the description. It's younow.com/Lelujo. Come and say hello. The link's on Twitter and Facebook as well. And I can actually see the chat over there, or over here. Although I'm very behind, I can see it. In fact, I was so far behind, it's just jumped me forward. Right, where did we get to? Why don't you take Andy to Tanfield Railway in Newcastle? Mainly because we're not going to Newcastle anymore. We're going to Bournemouth instead. What did I think of the new Spider-Man film? I thought it was awesome. The Bournemouth Eye is like the London Eye. What, like a wheel? Oh, then we'll definitely go on that if it's a wheel. He's a fan of a wheel. Do they not have the hot air balloon anymore? Do I recommend Avengers Endgame? Yes. I recommend going to Chessington in the holidays because it has a zoo and rides, so it's good for everyone. Where's Chessington? Is that a Merlin place? If we get Merlin passes, is that going to be covered? Because we're still undecided about whether we're going to get Merlin passes or not. We're not sure. We're pondering it. They're really expensive, but last time we had them, we absolutely rinsed them and got value for money on them. So I imagine we'd do that again, but it's just making sure there is enough cool stuff that we would rinse them properly. How's my dad doing? He's all right, I guess. I've not seen him for a little while. Oh, there you go. Ben's saying 100 gold bars is worth $1 US. Well, thank you to anyone who's given me any gold bars. The only thing is, right, what I can see on screen, and I don't know, I imagine I'll get more detailed information afterwards. I can see I've got a number 2 next to a lightning symbol that looks like Harry Potter's head, and then a 16.74K next to thumbs ups. So what's the translation between thumbs ups and gold bars? It's so confusing. I remember now why YouNow used to confuse me so much. I don't understand what's going on. Right, so I'll see you on Saturday in Peterborough. We'll be traveling from Birmingham to see you. Kaz, that's awesome. Looking forward to it. Connor's saying, I know some drag queens who vlog in Bournemouth. I mean, if they make good videos, that's fine. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that's absolutely fine if their videos are any good. I mean, I don't want tours of like the drag clubs or wherever they may hang out. But if they're just like touristy videos, vlogs, wandering around Bournemouth, showing this is the arcade, this is the pier, this is the park, that kind of stuff. That's what I'm looking for, really. I want Andy to be able to see what's there and kind of get an idea and a feel for the place before we go. So look through. Let's have a look through. The arcade on the pier has gone. No, it's a rock climbing place now and a giant zip wire along the sea. Oh, that sounds awesome. That sounds really cool. When Andy went to PGL, he didn't do the zip wire, but he kept looking at it. And by the time they were leaving, he wanted to do it. So there's a chance he might be well into doing a zip line thing. That could be very cool. It goes what? So the zip line goes from the pier along the beach. That sounds amazing. I imagine I'm too fat to do that, but I'd like to do that. Am I going to do another 24-hour charity stream in December? No, because the weekend I would have done it on is Winter in the City. Do I know about the Sidemen? As in, do I know who they are? I'm aware of them. I don't know any of them. And if they've done anything this week, I don't know anything about it. I'm scanning through again. What football team do I support? The mighty Peterborough United. I enjoy the vlogs very much, but unfortunately find you extremely dismissive of people who don't already know everything you've shared online and others' ideas, even when you invite them. Well, can't please everybody. Is that me seeming dismissive again? If it is, I'm very sorry, Robbie. But I mean, from a creator point of view, I have to strike that balance between servicing my existing audience and doing an introduction for on every video for a new person, for someone who might be new to the channel. So I think if I was to start every video with, I'm Kev, this is Anna, this is Andy, this is Amy, this is Lucy, this is Dave, this is our family background, this is how we ended up here, this is what we do, this is what we did last week, this is what we did a month ago, this is the progress on this. It would literally be 20 minutes of me just explaining our backstory, and that would be every video. There'd be nothing new. So I think the onus has got to be on the viewer that if they want to find out more, there's 1,000 videos on the channel where they can go and find out more. If that's dismissive, then fair enough. Right, I'm scanning through again. A lot of questions seem to be repeating themselves. But the screen's black, I can't see you. Is that the same person saying that over and over again? I'm assuming most of you can see me. Merlin does have Chessington. Excellent stuff. Right, we've scrolled way back again. The screen, right. It is okay, so it is the same person. If it's the same person, then I'd suggest that's an issue on your end. Maybe refresh the screen, restart your device, restart the app, however you're watching it. Where does Andy go to school? At Andy's school. I mean, I'm not going to share his school on the internet, am I? I'm not that mad. Have you ever thought about going to the Critch Tramway Village in Derbyshire? You can ride on loads of old trams. I think Andy would like it a lot. I have never heard of it. Primate Power, is that what your name is? If you follow me on social media anywhere, Twitter or Facebook, can you send me a link to it or something, just so I remember it after this stream? Otherwise I'll forget that it exists. But it sounds awesome. We took him on the Nene Valley Railway last year, which was a steam train, and he loved that. So I think old trams and stuff he would enjoy. Hi Kev, you now do an amazing job. Came for Andy, and we both have moderate learning difficulties from Mike and Lisa Stonehouse. Thank you, Mike. Very kind. Where is Andy, Anna, Amy, and Lucy? I already explained that. I'll do it once more very quickly. Anna's at work, Andy's in bed, Amy's in the shower, Lucy's at her mum's house, Dave's over there turning currently. I don't know what he's up to. That's what he does when he's out on a walk and he's trying to pick somewhere to have a poo, so that's a worrying sign. Connor's saying that's fair. The amount of times I get asked, when were you diagnosed, when it's plastered everywhere? Yeah, exactly. I think as a creator as well, it can be difficult knowing how hard people have tried to find out information, or whether they're just being lazy. And I'm not here to sort of handhold people through laziness. And I mean, sometimes, let me try and think of a recent example. I need to look back through recent video names. Because whenever I do any kind of intriguing title to a video, I get a load of comments asking for the answer to the deliberately intriguing video title. So let's take an example. we did a video the other day called "We're Very Excited." Now that's deliberately titled in a way to cause intrigue and to get people to click and find out what we're excited about. The amount of messages that I got in various places saying, "Hey Kev, what were you excited about?" And my response, the response I want to give is, it's a 13-minute video. If you can't be bothered to watch a 13-minute video to find the answer to the question, can I be bothered to answer it for you? Do you care that much if you're not willing to watch a 13-minute video? And stuff like that comes up quite a lot. So it's difficult. Aaron wants to know, what spec is my MacBook Pro? That is a question I will struggle to answer because I never remember stuff like that. There's probably ways you could find out for yourself. It's the 2015 model. So it was the last one they made that still had all the USB ports and SD card slots and stuff like that. I did buy it after the newer ones came out with the touchpad, but I deliberately got the previous one and then put every option on it to maximum. So whatever the 2015 absolute maximum specs and everything are, that's the spec of MacBook Pro that I've got. It was certainly by the time I was finished upgrading it, it cost more than a touch bar one would have cost. But I wanted it with the USB slots and the SD card slot and all that kind of stuff. And being really silly, I wanted the Apple to light up on the front of it as well. The new ones don't light up, do they? That's so silly. Am I going to visit some islands? What sort of islands? Where's my Coke? I've just spilt Coke all over myself. That's like I've opened it and not even had a sip. That was ridiculous. I'm so wet now. That's actually cooled me down quite pleasantly. What age do you think Andy will stay at home to? I'm 40 and still live at home. Whatever he wants, really. I mean, our answer to that question is always, he can stay as long as he likes. We'll always encourage his independence, but we wouldn't ever keep him here longer than he wants to be here, but at the same time, we'll never make him leave. So it's completely up to him and the level of independence he wants to achieve, and balancing that with things like mine and Anna's long-term health and things. So as much as I say we'll never make him leave, I think there probably would come a point as me and Anna start to get older. I mean, Andy's turns 15 next week, so it's 25 years until he's 40. I've just turned 37. So am I going to be in good enough health when I'm 62 to care for him properly? Probably not. I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. So I think there probably would come a point where it would be better for him to, if he does need like one-to-one constant care, which he doesn't at the moment really, but if it got to that point, then I think there comes a point where he has to be wherever's best for him. But at the moment, where's best for him is at home, and he doesn't want to leave, so splendid. Does he take any multivitamins? Yes, but not very often. It's a powder that it's mixed in with his custard, but he hasn't been eating custard for a little while. We tried mixing it in with the butter on his toast, and he stopped eating toast. We tried mixing it in with his Coke, and he stopped drinking Coke. So he kind of has it intermittently. Little reminder, once again, if you are watching this on YouTube, it's being streamed from YouNow, so I can't see the YouTube chat. So if you are on YouTube and you want to get involved in the chat, you need to come over here to YouNow. The link is in the description. It's younow.com/Lelujo, and come and join us on YouNow. We're having a lovely time over here. It's much more chilled, much more relaxed. The chat's moving a lot slower, although I'm still struggling to keep up with it. Have I ever thought about visiting Butlins? We thought about it, but I don't think, well, we're definitely not going to this year because we're contracted to an alternative to them for this year because we're going to Centre Parks. I mean, it's somewhere we might explore in the future. Who's this walking through the door? I am live streaming, so if you're in jammers, be aware. Okay. Look, Amy's here. What, you been watching?
Yeah.
Oh, Amy's watching. There you go. Amy's here. Just come down to fill up her water bottle. Right, let's have a look. Will asks, how do we care for Andy's autism? Because I have to have fluoxetine. Andy has fluoxetine as well. Is there any way of blocking spammers from the chat? There's not that much spamming going on here on YouNow, is there?
No, it's on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube. That's one of the reasons to come to YouNow. The YouTube chat's always a mess, so it's quite nice. I just got a text from Connor. Hold on. Asking me to reply. Right, Connor Townsend. I have ASD, autism, and HDHD, and I'm addicted to tweenies. And I watch to support you because I have ASD like Andy. Connor, thank you very much. I'm glad you enjoy what we do. Will I start streaming games on my Leluja 2 channel? Maybe. Probably. Definitely, but not yet. Probably not till after the summer, but it's definitely a plan. A long-term plan. I can see Fat Pig is saying, please answer, but I can't see your question. What have you got Andy for his birthday? I think you should get him a pool. We haven't got him anything yet. It's a week to go, and we still haven't got him anything. We were going to get him the Switch Lite. Are you off to bed now? Okay. Can you just borrow that a second? I'll put the bin out there so Dave can't attack it while I'm streaming. We've got glass bottles of Coke. They're on offer in the co-op. How cool is that? Very cool. That's a spoiler for tomorrow's vlog. But yeah, his birthday's a week away. We haven't got him a present yet. We were thinking Switch Lite, but we're probably leaning away from that now. We were then thinking of maybe a camera, but we want to get him a nice camera, but we know we'll break it. So it doesn't seem worth getting him another one that's not very good. I don't want to get him like a hot tub or anything like that because Dave will destroy it because Dave's Dave. I think what we're probably going to do is just say to him, like with the trip to Cambridge at the weekend, he really wants to go back to Nottingham, but stay in one of the hotels next to the tram line again. So I think we're probably going to do that and just do like a 2-day trip to Nottingham where he can completely set his own agenda. And the gift is the night in the hotel and the tram trips and all the additional expenses to go with it. I mean, it might not seem like a present you'd enjoy, maybe, but Andy will absolutely love that. And it's not cheap to go and just randomly stay in a hotel for no reason. So we might do that. Is Andy's communication better off camera or on? It's no different. Andy doesn't act any differently when he's on camera, other than when he does his winking. But he doesn't really, other than that, he doesn't really act differently when he's on camera. Has anyone ever diagnosed a mental age for Andy? No. Is that something that's still done? I'm not sure if that's something that he's done. Is it? I could be wrong, but no. Kev, why don't you like Star Wars? Because I didn't watch it when I was a kid. And I mean, I'm going to upset so many people. My views on Star Wars have the potential to upset people, but my theory on Star Wars, and if you're really into Star Wars, you'll never believe me, but Star Wars isn't a very good movie, but it would have been really cool to watch as a kid. Like when I was a kid, the Tim Burton Batman movie came out, and that's why I love Batman. That's why I love superheroes, because that movie was so cool. Looking back now, it's not a great movie, but the Star Wars movies would have been awesome to watch as a kid. But my parents weren't into sci-fi stuff at all, so I was never exposed to it growing up. My childhood was in the 90s, so the ones that came out in the 70s had finished and weren't really a thing anymore. The ones that came out in the early 2000s hadn't started yet, so I sort of grew up in a void of Star Wars where unless your parents were really into it, you didn't see it. I have tried to watch the first Star Wars movie as an adult, and it's just not a very good movie. But I can see why a kid would love it, and I could see why someone who first watched it as a kid would have all these romantic thoughts about how brilliant it is and become really invested in that as a franchise and love it as an adult, because that's how I am with Batman and comic stories. But I think if I aged 30, whatever, if I was to discover Batman for the first time now, I probably wouldn't like Batman because the premise is ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. And that's kind of what Star Wars is, a really generic movie. How many viewers have just left off the back of that? Does anyone want their money back? Do we still use the Google Home? Andy does. No one else does. What kind of dog is Dave? A stupid one. His breed is officially English Springer Spaniel, but it can be summarized as he's just a stupid dog. Can I do a video on autism stereotypes? I always feel uncomfortable going down that route because we've got Connor Ward here in the chat today. He can make that video much better than I can, and I shouldn't be speaking for him. So if you want to watch that video, I imagine Connor's already made it. If he hasn't, the Aspie World's already made it. or you know, there's any number of people who are actually autistic who've made that video. So I don't think that video is for me to make. Feels a little bit like trying to cash in on stuff. Maybe if I'm ever diagnosed, which is a big if, based on how long the wait is. Where's my spring gone? Maybe if I am ever diagnosed, then I'll feel a little bit more comfortable doing it. But to me, it feels a little bit like, I don't know. What are people's thoughts on it? I didn't make a video for Pride Month either, even though it's a cause I support. But I'm not gay, so I didn't feel like it was my place to make a video about Pride. There are plenty of people making them who can speak from experience. I think that's the same with autism stereotypes. Maybe I'm wrong. That's just the way I feel about it. Convince me why I'm wrong. Do I know what the tweenies are? I do. What have you got? I've already answered that one. This is a shock. Thought you were done with YouNow. I was, but we didn't do a proper vlog today, and I just fancied a chat and didn't want it to be on YouTube or permanently on YouTube because I didn't know what. I don't like to leave anything on YouTube that doesn't have a plan and doesn't have a structure. YouNow is a nice place just to hang out and have a little bit of a chat. Andy's birthday is the 24th, Connor. Am I going to buy a Pokemon Sword or Shield? Am I going to be doing a Pokemon Sword or Shield Let's Play on Lelujo 2? Probably not. I think with Lelujo 2, the kind of grand plan, I think my niche that I'm good at in gaming videos, because I'm not good at gaming videos. So if you just want to watch a Let's Play to see what a story is like or what a game is like, I'm not the person to watch. I think what I'm good at with gaming videos is what I do with Football Manager and what I'm doing with Mario Maker. And that is creating my own content out of notes, stuff that you can't see anywhere else. So I'm deliberately not doing story mode on Mario Maker, for example. I'm playing levels you won't have seen before and doing them my way. On Football Manager, I'm creating my own stories and showing you stuff you've never seen before. Doing a Let's Play on a game like Pokemon, if people are interested in Pokemon, they'll either play it themselves or they'll watch someone who's good at it play it. No one's going to watch me play Pokemon. So, no, probably not. What dates are we in Blackpool? I can't remember. It's towards the end of August. Thank you to everyone who's inviting people to join the streams, sharing it, that kind of thing as well. That is much appreciated. More of that, please. And again, if you are watching on YouTube, I'm probably going to go for another 10 minutes or so. I have got to finish watching last night's Raw before Anna gets home from work at 10. But if you are watching on YouTube and you're just desperate to ask a question, I can't see the YouTube chat. So if you want to ask a question, head on over here to YouNow and we'll have a chat over here. And this is your one last chance to share stuff around as well. Thank you very much. Kev, have you seen the phenomenal accomplishment that MGP has? I tweeted you. You tweeted me directly? I haven't seen it, whatever it was. Just tell me in the chat. Have I heard of Agony Orty? I have. Would Andy like something like a ball pit or maybe a sand pit? It's a big risk. Maybe, maybe not. Kev, I'm interested in becoming a teacher. Any tips or advice? My one big tip to people looking to get into teaching is make sure you keep your work-life balance in place. Don't let anybody tell you should be taking work home with you. I was a teacher for 5 years and never once took any work home with me. I would sometimes go in early. I would sometimes stay late. But when I got in my car and left that building, I wasn't a teacher anymore. So, yeah. That's the way to keep yourself sane as a teacher. I have surgery tomorrow. Do I have advice? I mean, I've never really had proper surgery, so not really. Just, I don't even want to say good luck. You don't want. I don't think you'd want to go into surgery looking for good luck. You want a good surgeon. I'm sure it'll go. I'm sure it will be good. Just try and stay calm. I guess. Obviously, people usually have surgery to improve something, relieve pain or whatever it might be. So hopefully, you get what you're looking for out of your surgery. Have we ever been geocaching with Andy? Once or twice. He's not interested. What are the tweenies' names? I don't know what their names are. Upsy Days. No, is that the tweet? No, that's in the Night Garden, isn't it? The tweenies. I can't remember. I don't care. Fizz, was that a tweenie? What wrestling games do I play? Total Extreme Wrestling is the only one, really. Let's have a little scan through. Connor Townsend, can you stop asking the same things over and over again? I don't want to have to mute you, but you are kind of monopolizing the chat a little bit. Just try and tone it down a little. Do I ever miss teaching? No. I do miss hanging out with people in an office and just being around people and just a general sort of banter, camaraderie type thing of just working with people. But I could get that in any job. It's not specific to teaching. Actual teaching itself, I don't miss at all. What's the best and worst thing about blogging? I'm going to assume you mean vlogging because I haven't written a blog for about 10 years. And the best and worst things about vlogging. The best thing is that I get to wake up every day and do what I want. The worst thing is sometimes people don't want to see that and don't watch, and I worry. Then I worry about money and paying the bills and stuff. I mean, it's literally that. The best thing is it's super fun. The worst thing is my money is a roller coaster. And some months I feel like the richest man in the world, and some months I worry I'm not going to be able to pay the broadband bill, and that would be a disaster. So I wouldn't be able to upload anything. Would I like to visit Tokyo? Yes, it is in my top 5 places I want to go and visit. I want to go and use all the vending machines because I'm a nerd. Have I heard Thor 4 is confirmed? I hadn't heard it was confirmed, but it doesn't surprise me. They kind of set it up. Have we ever found out what happened with Amy's ankle? Nope. Did Andy ever go to a mainstream school as a young child? He did for the first couple of years at school. It didn't go well and it didn't last long. But yeah, he did. The final straw, there was kind of 2 final straws that happened within like a week of each other. One was he hit his TA, not like deliberately set out to be violent, but she wasn't really equipped to cope with him properly. And he was having a meltdown and was just flailing his arms around and just hit her and hurt her. He was only like 6 or 7 at the time, so he didn't hurt her badly, but they didn't like that at all. But like a week before that, Anna was going to pick him up from school and he was walking towards her down the street outside the school because he'd just got up and left and no one at the school had noticed. Thankfully, it was just before going home time, so Anna was there to see him walking down the street towards her. But if he'd have done it like 2 hours earlier, he'd have just been wandering around Nottingham on his own. Oh, no, actually, to be fair, even though he was only 6, he would have just walked home because that's what he does. But yeah, it was kind of I wasn't around at the time, but Anna at that point was ready to move him, and then a week later he hits the TA, and then they're ready to move him, and all of a sudden a place in a special school magically appears. Do more of these. Yeah, I'm enjoying this. I might do this a bit more often again. I've missed it. It's fun. Have I got games planned for Lelujo 2? Games I've got planned. I want to do Go and Harry Potter Wizards Unite on there. I think Lelujo 2 will just be a place where stuff that I'm enjoying playing appears. If there's some kind of user-generated or unique way of displaying the content, like I'm going to play a lot of Marvel Ultimate Alliance when that comes later in the week. I'm not going to put that on Lelujo 2 because it's not going to be unique gameplay. So that won't go on there, but I don't know, I might put a bit of Minecraft on there at some point. Who knows? Right, let's keep flowing down the chat. A couple more minutes. So if you've been desperate to ask a question, now's the time to ask. I am going to push all the way down to the bottom of the chat so I can see the most recent questions. Right, where in England do we live? Peterborough. Kev, don't feel forced to answer this, but when did Andy accept you as his dad? Pretty much the first day I turned up at their house. I don't think the role of dad means a lot to Andy. I don't mean that in a mean way, but I don't think he's just that guy who's there. And one day it changed from me not being there to being there. And he's never really treated me any differently from that day onwards. It was just like, oh, there's someone else here now. Fair enough. Carry on doing my own thing. It's not really any other way to explain it. Could I download this after the stream is finished on YouTube? No, it won't be on YouTube afterwards. Maybe Andy should get a gaming channel. If Andy actually shows an interest in doing proper gaming content properly, then yeah, definitely. Will I ever try a week on vegan? Probably not. I don't know, maybe. I've always said I would like to, like, theoretically and stuff, I would like to be vegan. The one thing stopping me going vegan is bacon. They haven't got bacon right yet. If you find me a good piece of vegan bacon, I'm there. I mean, the burgers are good, the steaks are good, most of the meal replacement stuff is good. That vegan snack box I got when I was managing Forest Green on Football Manager, that was all good stuff. The chocolate's good, the ice cream's good. They've got milk sorted, cheese sorted, but they have until they master bacon. I ain't doing that. They need to sort out bacon, and then I'm in. I'll become a vegan and save the planet single-handedly because I eat a lot of food, so it'll make a big difference. Right, where's my pop? 3 more questions. Let's make them 3 good ones. Do I think Andy would like to go to America and see all the famous parts? Probably. He never really talked about it, but probably. He'd certainly like to go to Disney World. Does Anna have a disability? No. Well, not official. I mean, she has the tethered spinal cord, spina bifida thing that gives her back problems and is why her foot is kind of, basically her foot's upside down, all the ligaments and stuff inside it, which is why she walks with a limp. But she's not like registered as disabled. She doesn't get any benefits or anything for it. So I don't think she counts as disabled. And she's got dyslexia as well. But again, it's not classed as a disability. Why don't you go to London Film Comic Con and Wales Comic Con? Because I like the MCM Comic Cons and I like big Comic Cons. Is the simple answer to that. The London Film and Comic Con is just like a meet and greet fest, isn't it? And I've never gone to a meet and greet at any Comic Con ever. I couldn't care less about meeting celebrities. I go there to look at the comics and look at all the nerdy stuff and buy pop vinyls. So I get my fill at London, at the MCM London Comic Cons, and I go to the Birmingham ones because the girls like to go. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't go to Birmingham anymore. London Comic Con twice a year, that's my fill. Have you ever considered claiming Pip for Andy? Well, we can't at the moment because he gets DLA still, which I think he gets either until he's 16 or 18. He's on DLA because his last DLA claim went through just before Pip became a thing, and then presumably it will transfer over to Pip, or we'll claim for Pip. I don't really know how Pip works. Don't really know how Pip works, but yeah, we'll absolutely we claim everything for Andy that he's entitled to. I say everything; it's DLA. That's all he's entitled to. But yeah, we'll continue to claim Pip when he becomes an adult, because ultimately it's unlikely he's going to go. Certainly, I would say, I don't ever want to say never, but I think it's unlikely he'll ever go out and get a full-time job. So he's going to need it. We're not going to be around forever. So he's going to need that money to pay for stuff. And there were times, certainly just after I left teaching and was doing this full-time on almost no money, I think I tweeted the numbers out a little while ago. I think my first month of doing YouTube full-time, I earned about 300 quid. So that DLA, that kept him in Walker's Crisps and Coke, because if it had just been left on what we were earning, we wouldn't have been able to get him his fancy crisps, and that would have been disastrous. So yeah, it's been essential having that. Right, let's have a little scan through. There you go. Connor's confirming 16 for DLA, then you reassess for PIP. So we've got 1 more year of DLA. Lots of people confirming that. DLA is disability living allowance. Right, I think we're going to wrap things up there, because we've been going 45 minutes. My word, that has flown by. That's been a lot of fun. Expect to see more of these. I don't know when. It's not going to go in any kind of schedule or anything, but when I fancy a chat, I'll come on here and have a chat. So if you haven't already followed, make sure you do. If you were watching on YouTube, come over and follow on YouNow, because the YouTube version of this is going to disappear now. It's not going to stay as a video on demand. I think there's a way to watch clips and stuff here on YouNow. But yeah, this wasn't intended to be a permanent thing. It was just a little chat. So I'll see you again for another chat